Hey everybody, and welcome to the 6th episode of the Cog Pod. This is Amanda. With us this week we have Totrib, also known as Lucas. Say hello, Lucas.
Hello.
We have Nick. Say hi, Nick.
Hello.
Grim will not be with us this week. He is away in New York City, hanging out with some friends.
New York City.
That
Eating
really
real
chaps
sushi
my heart.
and real ramen.
So this week we have a guest. He online is known as Kami5005. If you want to look him up on his YouTubes and all his videos on playthroughs. I call him Richard. I'm going to call him Richard, so just deal with that. Say hello, Richard.
Hello, how are you guys doing? I'm Kami5005, aka Kami-Seuss, aka Richard.
Kami-Seuss.
Kami-Seuss.
Or Spuds McKenzie.
Yep.
So everybody tell me what you did this week. Let's start with Nick this time.
All right. Well, I had two big things this week. One of them is I got some amount of acknowledgement from one of my favorite YouTube stars.
What happened?
Do you remember we were talking about the different candy names on Halloween between America and Canada?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And Smarties for you are Rockets for us. Well, she's Mira, or Kaneda Jean San on YouTube. She does videos from Japan, what it's like to live there.
Yeah.
And she is from Canada, so I tweeted that conversation.
Oh, that's right. I remember seeing all that.
Yes, and she actually responded. And the second one is I've just been watching the Trainspotting 2 trailer over and over again because it's been 20 years since the first one, and I'm obsessed.
That's like one of those where I heard like either you really liked it or you really didn't. Did you ever see Trainspotting?
I never saw it, no.
I don't think I saw it.
Am I the only one who saw it?
Maybe. Richard?
Saw what?
Trainspotting?
Trainspotting?
No, I didn't see that.
Focus up, Richard.
I guess we need to watch it. Because it was a big deal. I remember like...
Yeah, it was like a...
But it was like the people, Generation X, like a little bit older than us.
Not
they were all
really.
super into it.
I mean, it was like the heroin movie of the time of... And I mean, it was about the same time as Eternal Sunshine. Not Eternal Sunshine. Requiem for a Dream, wasn't it? A little before that?
Yeah,
I think
it was a little bit
before.
before that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That
But
sounds right.
it's an acquired taste. I love it. It's so divorced from everything I know in life, but it still means a lot to me. So I think you guys should watch it.
I will. I'll check it out. See if I like it. What'd you do this week, Lucas?
I got back into Division quite a bit this week.
Division.
They did a really big patch recently called 1.4, which kind of revamped the whole game. They had a lot of issues with loot drops early on. They were kind of scarce, and they had multiple layers of RNG to even get the item you want, and then had to have a good roll, and they've slowly been implementing things to get better. The other issues were back in the day, there were a lot of exploitations of things for people to get a lot of gear and grind it out, and if you didn't have the time or wanted to exploit, then you were kind of left behind. And so the 1.4 patch is insanely big. Like, the patch notes were too big for a Reddit post, and it was like 3 or 4 comments down Reddit that I had to, like, because of the character limits of posting the patch notes there.
Jeez.
It was a ton of stuff. I mean, they completely reworked the economy of the game, the way that drop rates are, what you get drops from, what levels they drop at. So now it's a lot easier to gear up and be able to test things and try out different sets and guns and builds. And then the real grind is kind of like Diablo, to where you're perfecting your sets and trying to
Just trying to get higher rated of the same thing.
Right. Trying to min-max your gear.
Yeah.
Get all of the things you don't want off of the gear and only have good, rolls on everything. So been having a lot of fun doing that. Playing with a few of my old clan people from Division that were also really into or from Destiny that were really in Division also. So
that's cool.
That's mainly what I did.
I didn't really do anything this week. I rewatched 30 Rock. I don't know if that really counts as doing
all
anything.
of it.
Like mostly all of it.
We've been watching it for a few weeks.
It's so good. Yeah, I just went all the way through it. Worked a little bit. I didn't really do much this week. What did you do, Richard?
How many seasons is 30 Rock?
30 Rock was 7?
7 or 8.
It was like actually 6.5 because 7 was like cut in half. It was like a half season.
Oh,
So,
okay.
like 6.5.
Was that it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What'd you do, Richard?
Just a lot of school stuff. Wednesday, I actually got to see Apocalypse Now, which there's a little quote that I'd like to say is, "You're never too young to have a Vietnam flashback." Other than that, I've been kind of cramming in some Dark Souls, and today I actually tried out Rebel Galaxy. It's like a little space sim, which is actually a lot of fun.
Is that the one that's in the Humble Bundle monthly? I think I got that.
It might be. It's kind of like Evacron Mercenary. I don't know if you guys have played that before, but it's like that, except you can't like fly up or down. It's only left and right and forward and back. So you don't have like a full 3D movement system or anything like that, but it's still pretty fun.
Huh.
Well, that's cool.
It was called Rebel Galaxy?
Yes.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I did. I got that in the Humble Monthly bundle this one. Man, that thing's been worth it. Last month, you got Stardew Valley, Broforce, Rebel Galaxy, this one called Beyond Eyes, Kathy Rain, which I don't know those, Styx, which is meh, and then a couple little ones. But next month, the feature one they're giving you is Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen, and it's a $30 game, and the monthly subscription is $12. So
yeah, it's actually been pretty good for you.
if nothing else,
Very nice.
pay $12 to get
that game.
To get that game next month. You can cancel it right away too if you want.
Have you had a chance to play Stardew Valley yet?
No, I haven't done.
No, I haven't.
You have it too?
Looks real good.
Yeah, I haven't. I've heard talks that they're going to try and do multiplayer with it.
Yeah, they actually. I heard they're doing a lot of mods with it too now. Like Shin is always been big farming stuff, from the Ogscast, and he's been doing a lot of Stardew Valley videos, and he posted on Twitter, I think it was yesterday, that he did a video with mods for like graphical updates and some pretty cool stuff.
Well, that's cool.
I think that might be one that you could get
that
into.
I might like. Yeah, I think Nick suggested for me to like.
Yeah,
it looks peaceful. I think you like peaceful, relaxing.
I do like
games,
peaceful.
Right?
Yeah, I do.
Well, it gets amazing reviews. Like
it looks cute.
From 80 to 100 from everything I've seen for reviews for it.
It looks cute.
So
I kind of want to get it to be able to farm and stuff in the 19 months of winter that we get here every year. sort of dream about the good times.
That's cool. We get 17 months of summer down here. So.
It's like 80 in November here still.
I really don't know which is worse.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think the hot full year round is worse, but that's only because I have to deal with it.
Yeah, but you don't want to be cold all the time either.
I don't know. You can always add jackets.
That's
and
true.
Scarves.
You can add layers.
Like, you can add layers. I can't be naked walking around. I mean, I could, but like walking around town, I can't just strip naked when I get hot.
It's true.
I don't know. People look at me like I'm a freak because I'm always wearing shorts, even in cold weather down here.
You are. Yeah.
That's true. You do that.
You do.
There are people who do that here too.
Well, it's because they get used to the cold, and so it's like normal.
Like, oh, look at that. It's 4 Celsius today. I'm going to put some shorts on.
That's shorts weather. I don't know whose accent that was supposed to be.
Than that. It gets
that
a
was
lot
a very,
than that.
That was a very northern accent.
Sure.
No, that's what I was saying. It was warm. It was 4. It got up to 4.
Anyway.
People are just part Yeti anyway.
Anyway, so we're going to start out with a question before we jump into the main topic today.
A what?
A what now? It's a question from I Am Chili P.
Chili.
So he wants to ask about like difficulty levels and reward systems, like where the harder the level is, you get better rewards, yay or nay, or what are y'all's opinions on that? And when I saw that question for me, I'm like, yeah, if you do a harder level, you should get better rewards.
Now,
Easy answer for me.
I think it depends on the rewards. And this started actually as a big debate in our group. They were talking about alternate endings as a reward for doing harder content or different endings or lore or story or things like that. And I don't think that should be a thing because a lot of people play games just for the story of it.
Yeah.
And actually this all came about because I saw a tweet or a Reddit post on talking about that Shadow Warrior 2 game, I think it was called. That kind of goofy one. And it was like and it said something about if you want to play on easy, that's fine. Sometimes you just want to come home and be a badass and, in a digital world and not worry about tryharding and stuff like that. And that was kind of the gist of it. And it sparked a big conversation where people were really on both sides of this issue, saying that you should get the same content and rewards no matter what difficulty you play on, because you purchased the game, you paid for it, and you can play it how you want to. And then on the other side, it was people saying that, if you do something that's harder or more challenging, you deserve more of a reward for it. So
yeah, but in my mind, like, the better reward should be like better guns or cooler gear. I don't think it should change the story. I'll agree with that.
See, and I actually disagree, because I think you shouldn't get things that make the game easier for you if you do it on a harder level. I think it should be things like cosmetic things, if it's like in Destiny, with emblems or shaders or...
Those aren't even anything.
No, I know, but it's more of a, look, I was able to do this, so it's something you can show off to other people, rather than something that actually changes the game and gives you an advantage.
Mm-mm.
What do you guys think?
I think this kind of alludes back to like Star Fox, the originals, and Star Fox 64, Chrono Trigger, and things like that, where you can get alternate endings depending on the difficulty that you're playing at the time, because you have the 3 different paths on Star Fox.
Yep.
And if you go the correct path, you can actually fight Andros himself. Whereas if you go the alternate paths, you find the fake version of him, so you don't actually get the true endings. But I think that as far as RPGs and stuff go, it kind of depends on the style of RPG. Like with, say, Borderlands or something like that, I think it's probably better to go in harder modes to get that better gear. Whereas if you just want to play the storyline, just go with the easier modes and don't worry about the gear.
Yeah.
Well, I think in a lot of those games, you just get more opportunities at gear. You don't necessarily get a better thing for doing it at a harder difficulty. Like on Borderlands, if I remember right, the harder difficulties... Well, I take that back, because that was like the world tier stuff that they did. Yeah. And that's not the same thing, though. That's basically like a light level sort of system almost.
Think about Diablo. If you're on Torment 10, you're going to get better drops.
Well, no, you'll get more drops. You still get the same drops. They're still the same level.
Well, yeah, but that's a reward for doing it on a harder level.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think you should get, rewarded for it by...
So you're
saying... I'm talking about exclusive loot. Things that you can only get.
No, that's not good, but I think you should get more.
So say there's like a super OP gun that you can only get if you play something on the hardest difficulty level.
That doesn't seem fair.
No, I wouldn't be for that at all.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. Not like just getting more of something. That's definitely understandable, because that's
You've worked harder.
Yeah, that's appropriate.
Yeah.
But no, it's more the exclusive things that people are talking about, like being locked out of content if they're not able to finish it at a harder level.
No, because that's kind of like kids that are not able to play it on the hardest level.
And I remember that with Star Fox, with the different paths, and same thing with Chrono Trigger. And I mean, Dark Souls has that to a degree, but it's not harder. It's just quest lines. It's doing certain things or completing quests in a certain order, or you know what I'm talking about. But
a lot of games now you can age out of being competitive. Like you can get slower reflexes, and you won't be able to get that content.
Oh yeah.
Not that you don't even want to try to. So,
yeah,
I mean, that's the thing too.
It's definitely a hotly debated thing in Destiny right now. It always has been since like Trials came around. They have Trials of Osiris. There's a reward if you go flawless, which you get to go to this place called the Lighthouse, and that's the only place you can get a certain version of the guns that drop in there. They're called the Adept versions, and they're a little bit better. Like this time, there weren't a huge difference. Year one, they were a pretty big difference because they were elemental primaries. That's the only place you could get that version of them. But now they just basically have a free perk, which is Snapshot, which it helps. It gives you a little bit better handling and things like that, but it's not like game breaking better.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm more for...
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Do you think that it's maybe just a change in viewpoints of people over time through gaming?
Possibly, but I mean, people definitely have different views on it. Like we have a couple guys in our Destiny group. Chili was one of them, and that's why he asked me to bring it up. And one of our other guys, Jay Perfect, they were hotly debating this and on completely opposite sides of it. So I think it just depends on how you like to play games also, because Chili was talking about, he's just sometimes just go casually and have fun and be able to get the same thing or
Filthy casual.
yeah, or, be able to experience the same thing versus
having to be a tryhard.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, I can see both sides of it, but I don't think the exclusive things should be locked behind difficulty walls.
Agreed.
Greed.
Stamp it. Agreed.
I'm not so. I don't care about the weapons and stuff so much. It's the different endings that really get me.
Yeah.
They used to do that a lot back in the day, but now that YouTube's a thing, it doesn't bother me as much. So if I get one ending, I just go watch the other ones.
Well, and oftentimes it's not like a difficulty thing, though. It's just alternate paths. Like, Chrono Trigger was one, right? That had like 100 endings or something crazy, right?
Yeah, there's like 15 endings to it.
Yeah, 100. That's what I said.
But Resident Evil 2 was one that you could only get certain endings on Nightmare mode.
Oh, really?
I never played any of those.
Yeah, you had to do the hardest setting in order to get some of the endings, but they had like so many endings. They had like 8 per game, so.
Oh, it's kind of like also with the Metroid Prime series, to where you have to get like a certain percentage of items or a certain percentage of things scanned in order to get different endings.
See, and that's understandable because that's like a completionist thing. That's not a difficulty.
That's not a difficulty, yeah.
So yeah, I definitely think you should be rewarded for doing
more.
Yeah, more things. So cool.
So
good topic.
On non-gaming related notes, Sweater Weather Dino, aka Death Ray Dino, wants to know, what is all of our spirit animals? I'll go first because I have this answer prepared because I did an AMA on my YouTube channel and answered this question there. So I have 3. Shut up! I can do what I want.
3.
The one that's a real life animal, that's my spirit animal, is my cat Gizmo. Because she's super cute and she doesn't care that she weighs like a few extra pounds. She does what she wants. And then like real life person would be Simon Lane from the Yogscast.
That's not an animal.
He's a spirit animal for me, okay? His character's name is Honeydew. And
Simon is your spirit animal.
Simon is my spirit animal. Shut up. I can do what I want. And then last one everybody knows is Nina Dobrev.
That's also a person.
Shut up. I could say, that's my choice. I can say what I want. So I have 3 and only one of them is an animal.
So you have 1.
Shut up. All right, Richard. What's your spirit animal?
I'd have to say wolf for sure. I love wolves, and you guys know that I'm kind of a loner by myself and stuff like that, so it kind of fits.
Oh, that's fitting, yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Yes, Amaterasu, whatever her name was. Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
No?
Mm-mm.
All right.
Amaterasu is from the game Okami.
Okami.
I still haven't played it, but I really want to.
Also in Smite, too.
Yeah.
What about you, Nick?
All right, since we can pick anything, I'm going to choose a cup, a lamp, this pillar over here.
Yours is mustard. Shut up, you liar.
Mustard and sriracha.
Your spirit animal is mustard.
So mustard, a cup. But if I have to be for real, I would say a cat, because they just don't give a shit. And they're kind of mean, but also nice sometimes. So
exactly,
that's my thing. So cat and
Agreed.
mustard.
I want to be a potato.
I am a potato.
What's your spirit animal, Lucas?
Man, I don't even know. You asked me this.
Yours is a phoenix.
Is that a thing? Sure.
I mean, sure.
Fox the Phoenix.
Closer to animals than a lot of things we chose. So.
I would agree with that because I have reimagined myself over the years multiple times, risen from the ashes.
Oh, God.
You were a chef, so you've probably been on fire once or twice.
I have, yes, I have burns.
So there you go.
On my body,
Body.
and yeah, that's a good one. I'll go with that. A phoenix.
Well, I mean, it's on your headset.
And that's true. Yeah, I do
You have
like
the Phoenix symbol,
I do
like,
have the
all
Phoenix
over
symbol on my
everything.
headset, and
God,
then
there's so many things. It's a conspiracy.
I know.
Conspiracy.
and Fox the Phoenix from Harry Potter was pretty awesome. And that goes right into Fox. Something we're talking about at some point in this podcast. Guy Fawkes.
Mhm.
From,
Oh, do you want me to talk about it now?
You wanna
Since
just-
you just
you wanna just roll into
segued
that?
a little bit into
what a
it.
segue.
What's a
Yeah.
segue? So as everybody knows, today is the 5th of November,
Ooh.
which is V for Vendetta Day. Guy Fawkes.
Is that what it's officially called? V for Vendetta
I don't
Day?
know. But if you've ever seen the movie, then the 5th of November is V for Vendetta Day.
It's just
Yeah.
Guy Fawkes Day, I think.
Yeah.
In the UK.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not in the UK, so I call it V for Vendetta Day.
Okay.
So we're going to watch it tonight, of course, because we watch it every year on this day
At
in
least.
honor. No, it's usually just the one time.
I
you don't
usually
want
watch
to. You
it
don't want to
more-
burn out
more
on
than
it.
that, but yeah.
So I'm going to read a quote from the movie, and I'm going to be Evie. I think this was at the end of the movie, wasn't it? Where
Yes,
she says
this
this.
is
Okay.
her little soliloquy.
This is her like summing up the whole thing for you guys. You ready?
No.
Okay. Remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot. I know of no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. But what of the man? I know his name was Guy Fawkes, and I know in 1605 he attempted to blow up the House of Parliament. But who was he really? What was he like? We are told to remember the idea, not the man, because a man can fail. He can be caught, he can be killed, and forgotten. But 400 years later, an idea can still change the world. I've witnessed firsthand the power of ideas. I've seen people kill in the name of them and die defending them. But you cannot kiss an idea, cannot touch it or hold it. Ideas do not bleed, they do not feel pain, they do not love. And it is not an idea that I miss, it is a man that made me remember the 5th of November, a man that I will never forget. Nailed it.
It was V. It was V.
It was V.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. It was V.
Yeah, but that's very specific to the movie, though. I mean, at least the very end part of it. Otherwise, it's pretty universal. Talking about
Right.
ideas.
Yeah.
But then she's like, when I miss man.
And
That
that's
first
like
part,
anonymous.
is that something people actually say? Like, is that an actual saying?
The very
or-
beginning part, yeah. Remember,
Yeah,
remember the 5th of
that
November?
part is from the actual guy.
Well, at least according to the movie.
I've waited like a decade to ask someone that, I guess.
I'm pretty
I always
sure.
wondered.
You know of it, though. I mean, not
Oh,
like the
yeah.
people last night, like Zach, who'd never even seen it,
Calling him out. Well, he's gonna watch it tonight.
or William, right? Neither him also.
Oh, that's right. William.
What's
didn't
wrong
see
with
it
people?
either.
Watch it.
Watch it
And
today.
Trainspotting.
Oh wait, this isn't gonna go out today.
Untrained spotting. Yeah. It might go out today. Tonight. Nick's pretty quick on the turnaround.
That's
It will.
true.
It will probably.
Our
Even
producer.
if it's not out today, still watch it.
Watch
Yeah.
it anyway. If you haven't seen it, watch
Just
it.
pretend
If it's not out today, don't bother. Fuck it. Just kidding.
Just wait another
Just
year.
skip it. So the main thing we were going to talk about today, this is going to be like mostly Tote and Richard talking, only because Nick hasn't played it.
No.
You guys wanted to talk about and discuss a little bit of Dark Souls 3 because there was like a DLC that came out, or what happened?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And go.
Richard, how much have you played?
I don't know how much of it I've played.
I should ask,
I
what
know.
have you done in the DLC then?
Well, let's see.
Well, you don't want to give away spoilers.
Well,
but, like-
it's gonna happen if we're talking about.
yeah. I mean, it's kind of the way it is.
Well, don't give away major spoilers then.
No, I mean, well, that's the thing about Dark Souls. You kind of can't, but you can. It depends on how much people are actually into the story and lore of it, or whether or not they just want to go and try to get good.
Yeah.
Well, let's say the first boss that I found was not on purpose, and I died from falling whenever I first saw him.
Didn't you say, Luke, that you didn't find the first boss? You accidentally skipped him and went to the second
I went
one?
out of order on accident.
Right.
I don't know what order I'm in. This DLC actually reminds me a lot of the level design from Bloodborne.
Right, because it's non-linear, it's a little open. You can actually go and fight the final boss, quote unquote, without even seeing the first boss.
Clearly.
And I completely missed over it because I'm stupid. And I even commented on it. Okay, so when you said you fell, you fell off the bridge, right? I'm taking it.
It was down at the bottom of the, I guess, tree roots.
Yeah. Okay. So when I went running across that bridge the first time, I was like, "Oh, hope this bridge doesn't fall out from under me." And then I just kept going and never even checked to see if the bridge could drop and you could, crawl down it. And so I kept going through because I turned back around and I saw that ladder on the right and go down to the little village, and I go through the whole village and I go through the whole area, clear the whole DLC. And I'm like, man, I haven't even found a boss yet. This is crazy. And then I make my way all the way back around and fight the final boss, which I don't think you have fought. Did you fight a wolf or no?
I did fight a wolf.
Okay. Now, did you fight 2 big wolves individually and then one that's included with a boss?
No, I didn't. I fought the one wolf, and then I made it through the rest of what I guess was the rest of the area until I started getting chased by another wolf, and then I fell down a cliff to a bonfire.
Right. So that's as far as you've gone?
No.
Oh.
So and then I crossed the rope bridge.
Right.
And talked to the people in there, which is that where the final boss is? There's like it's like a triple boss battle thing.
Yes.
That's the final? Oh, crap.
So that's the one you did?
I haven't beat it yet.
So you did the same thing I did. So yeah, you can actually hit the rope bridge and climb down it like you could earlier outside of Wolnir's.
Ah.
And then you go down below and to the icy area, and there's another boss down there.
You were like, the whole time you were like, it's been a long time and I haven't hit a boss yet. Like,
yeah, that's what I was wondering.
So that's the interesting thing about the DLC. I mean, it's very non-linear and they don't hold your hand. And that's kind of an overarching, theme with all of Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm.
You can miss bosses completely. They're optional bosses. There are actually not very many required ones. Same thing with Bloodborne. There was a lot of kind of offshoots.
Yeah.
Is it all bosses like Shadow of the Colossus?
No.
Oh, okay.
There are definitely enemies in between. And that's the thing about this DLC. The enemies between like the area where you're running through. Holy crap. They were not joking around this time.
They never are.
Yeah. I mean, you're running through and like fighting hollows and stuff in the little cities. And usually, you can just kind of wreck through that stuff. But man, like the wolf packs and the big guys with the wolves and the giant axes and stuff, the stupid trees.
I'll tell you a little secret. I've been playing on my Pyromancer through this.
Yeah.
And the Pyromancy called Report is whatever. It's it's really saving me.
Oh yeah, you basically get allies, right?
Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
It's amazing. So I'm having the Mirkwood guys fight each other, saving me from doing it.
That's dirty.
I
figured the pyro would be good anyway because it's all ice stuff, and I figured fire would be good against it all, the chaos flame stuff. So I thought about doing that as my next one. I might do strength because there's some really cool weapons that I've run across. Some really cool dex weapons too.
Oh yeah,
I was actually really happy with the whole weapon selection for this DLC. Yeah. Oh yeah, the boss down there you haven't fought yet. Remember you told me you had that shield that does like that little blast out of it. That's where you get that one. So that's why you haven't found that yet.
You guys.
But I mean, just kind of go back to Dark Souls in general. I know you are kind of the lore master of our friends that played all the old ones. Where do you see Dark Souls 3 and the DLC in the whole grand picture of it all?
Grand picture of it all, like as far as difficulty or story?
Well, just kind of what you think about it. Did you like it better, worse? Story, lore, difficulty, battle, whatever.
I do really like it. I think it's like a good amalgamation of all of the Souls games.
Mm-hmm.
I think that probably PvP-wise, the second one is definitely better. Story-wise, it's way better than the second one. Dark Souls, the original, and Dark Souls 3, I think they're pretty comparable in both ways. As far as Demon Souls go, I think that one is probably the hardest. And And that's just because of the frame rates and everything like that really screw you over.
Yeah.
So where would Bloodborne rate in all of that?
That depends on who you ask.
I'm asking Richard.
Richard.
Because I know it's really difficult.
I think on your first time through it, that would probably be the hardest series, but once you get through it the first time, that difficulty just drops off.
Okay.
It's because it's different.
Yeah.
It's not that it's harder. It's just not. And it also depends on how you played Dark Souls, because Bloodborne for me came very naturally, because Demon Souls and Dark Souls, I was never a shield user. I was always a roller. And so Bloodborne being no shield.
You gotta roll the whole time, right?
Yeah, that or use a gun to parry. And I am horrible at parrying in all these games, notoriously. So it was much, much more my play style, to where you're just dodge rolling the whole time and using iframes and invincibility frames. And so Bloodborne for me is actually probably my favorite of all of them, because, you know, the weapon diversity, there aren't nearly as many weapons in Bloodborne as there were in the Souls series, but the diversity between the weapons is a lot greater, and the movesets are a lot greater because you have that transform feature. And so there's a lot more depth to the combat in Bloodborne, I feel like, or the weapons at least. So, you know, it just one of those that I think just is something you can master and play a lot of. It was actually the first one I platinumed on PlayStation.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
What is so I heard there was like an update or something happening with Diablo 3.
Yes.
What's going on?
Did you have anything else to say about Dark Souls or in general, Richard? Before we move on to Diablo? I mean...
No, not really.
It's hard to not spoil stuff. Yeah, Richard did a lot of Dark Souls 1 and 2 Let's Plays and theme playthroughs and things like that.
Yeah, we'll link your YouTube on our page.
Yeah. I didn't play too much Dark Souls 2. Well, I beat the game and everything like that, but I think that was probably the odd man out in the Souls series.
Yeah.
And I've tried recording a bit of that, but whenever I got partway through the recordings, they started corrupting. So I'll have to go back and redo that at some point if I decide to.
Yeah, I need to go back and play 1 and 2 all the way. I played a lot of 1 before I gave it to Chris, and then I didn't get it back forever. And so I never really went back and did it. I've seen all of 1. I've seen your playthroughs of it and the Artorias playthrough. And, you know, with 2 seems to be the kind of the odd duck. Either people like it better than all of them. It's either like the top of their list or the bottom of their list, it seems like, because it was so different.
Well, I've talked to a couple people as well that were saying that if you play Dark Souls 2, don't really expand on the story of the main content of the game. Go to the expansions, because that's where the stories and gameplay gets a lot better. I haven't tried them yet, though.
Oh, interesting. The Scholar of the First Sin stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I picked that up at a Steam sale, you know, like every other game I own that I've never played. And,
hundreds of them.
Yeah. So I will, I'll have to go and do that one of these days when I get a lull in content.
Lull.
Lull.
So what's going on with Diablo?
So Diablo announced, at BlizzCon, they announced the Rise of the Necromancer pack is coming in 2017. I don't think they gave a date on it yet, an exact date, and it's going to be a character pack. So it's going to be a DLC and going to introduce the Necromancer class from Diablo 2 back into Diablo 3. It's going to be tweaked for D3. So that is really exciting. So far, there's also going to be 2 new continents. So they're expanding the playable area. And then for the anniversary update, I believe they said it was January. For that, they're going to be, they're recreating Diablo 1 in Diablo 3.
Oh, that's what I saw, yeah.
So, read a little bit more about it, and it's going to be a limited time event. I think it's going to be for January. And they're going to do it every year now from here on. And it's going to be like specific rewards that you can get for doing it, like a helm, legendary helm slot, gem, and
well, and didn't it say
transmogs.
that like D3 was going to be like transformed back into like the cool 8-bit.
That's what they're
like,
doing.
you
Yeah,
know.
it's actually going to be like a dungeon of sorts, but it's going to have 16 levels and all 4 bosses from the original Diablo. And they're going to retro vision it, is I think is what they call it. Retro pixel vision. And
Way
make
to
it to where,
reuse assets.
yeah, exactly. And they're going to make it to where you can only move in 8 directions, and they're going to lower the frame rate to make it look more retro. And
That'll be cool for someone like me that loves D3 but never played 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be cool.
That should be interesting. And, yeah, the 2 other things were transmogs. There's going to be a classic Butcher Cleaver transmog and a Wirt's Leg from the original one. So, like low-res transmog.
That'd be cool.
So.
My friend was telling me he's really excited about the Necromancer one, and he figures there's going to be a lot of content with it because it's going to be like $20-something.
I'm not sure what they're
that
going to...
DLC.
Yeah, they didn't really expand on it too much. I'm sure they'll tell us a little bit more about it later.
As it gets closer
But
to
they're
time.
calling it a Rise of the Necromancer pack, you know. And it might include, you know, I could see them doing maybe like 5 more character slots or 2 more character slots with it, you know. Stash tabs, yeah, something like that.
Can I get like 7 more stash tabs?
Well,
yo?
you know, you play the seasons, you get 1 a season if you complete all that stuff.
You know, you can
tired.
buy those in other countries, but not in North America, I guess.
Same thing with wings. You can
Yeah,
buy
I
a bunch
wonder
of
why
wings
that
in
I
is.
China.
want wings.
Well, you can earn them, but you can. There's a bunch
I
more
know,
different
but I want
ones.
pretty ones.
Yeah.
Earning's a lot of work, though, you know, to buy this
I
stuff.
just want to buy
Yeah.
mine. So that's about all we had for that. I'm sure we'll come out with more D3 stuff
Yeah.
as they come out with it. We'll update you guys when we hear it.
Mhm.
Nick.
Yes,
So
the time has come.
the time has come for you to discuss with us. I didn't know that this was a thing. Is it a real thing? The flat
is a
Earth
real
movement?
thing.
It's okay. Let me
Ooh,
just say,
yeah.
can I just say beforehand that I apologize to all the people I will offend with my statements, but I firmly believe that if you actually legit think that the Earth is flat, you're dumb as shit. Because we've seen pictures of it from outer space. It's clearly not flat. Have you driven to the edge and fallen off? No.
That's all conspiracies.
No, it's stupid. It's stupidity is what it is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nick.
I think that you just did his
do
rant for
not
him.
Apologize. I don't apologize to anyone who believes that. I don't think you should be on the internet. I mean, clearly science and technology are clearly not your thing. So
It'd
Anyway.
be different if it was something that was debatable, but it's just not.
well, I'll
They,
tell you
they
what
disagree.
happened.
They would debate you on that.
Yeah,
They
what
do,
happened
they
to bring
do.
this up, Nick? What happened?
Okay, well, I was sitting here having a chat with one of my best friends, and they're like, "Hey, have you heard of the flat Earth movement?" And I'm like, "Yes."
Did he give you a pamphlet?
No. We
Can
were
I talk
chatting
to you about our
online.
Lord and Savior Flat Earth movement?
Was he wearing a
I
tie?
prefer that. I prefer that, really.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I've heard of that, and I'm a little bit incredulous at this point. And he's like, yeah, I was just listening to it today on different things, and you know what? I think I believe in this. And I'm like, what?
You're like, how do we
And-
stay friends now? Like how?
Well, this is the thing. I start searching Facebook. I'm saying, well, I got to find a new best friend. You know, I can't.
I can't associate with you, bro.
Yeah, what's that thing they say now? I literally can't.
I literally
This
cannot.
This is the true meaning of it. Like, I cannot deal with this. I cannot deal with someone who really believes this. And then he started like spouting out things that they believe, like, you know, there's around the edge, there's like mountains and stuff like that. And when you go on a plane ride, you're just going around. Like, he's saying there's no planes go over the Antarctic or the Arctic. And I'm like, well, yes, they do actually. And there's these 2 flights that do it. And he's like machine gun rapid firing all these stupid things that flat Earth people say. And I'm like, slow down. Like, all this is wrong. This is not science. Like, this is.
Let me
just
help you.
Just give me a chance to like shoot these down one by one. It's just coming in too fast. And I'm starting to get mad. And I'm like, are you really telling me that you believe this? Are you fucking serious? Like, and then he finally tells me, no, I'm just fucking with you. But this is an hour and a half later.
He played the long game.
He did. He was probably having so much fun because I was like, no. And I'm like looking things up. I'm sending references. I'm like drawing diagrams of stuff. I'm getting pictures off my old phone of when I was on an airplane. Like I'm putting together a whole document I could submit to like a scientific journal or something just to say no. So I got trolled bad. I admit he got me.
That's pretty good.
There are people who believe this.
They'll probably vote for Trump.
Whoa.
Oh, they're
I say that every time.
Why you always got to bring
I
politics
can't help
into
it. I hate it. Sorry.
Well, they're not going to vote at all because they're reptiles and they can't be counted by the government. They can't have that.
But wait, how did this lead into you being like, let's also bring up anti-vaxxers? How did that lead into that?
Well, usually they're hand in hand, and you know they're hanging out in the same circles and talking. You know,
why? Because of conspiracy theories?
I guess they're just stupid people.
Dumb
Yeah,
folks.
not really that.
Like I have to come up with a super painful groan to express how I feel about this stuff, but I can't do it.
The thing with anti-vaxxers, at least they have like a few plausible reasons or like explanations.
Well,
whereas
it's
the flat
pseudoscience
Earth
is the issue.
movement, like there's clearly no way
Yeah,
that's true.
it's pseudoscience stuff. It's like the people who say that, oh, did you know that Fireball has the same thing that antifreeze has in it? And you're like, yeah, it's a common chemical that's in lots of things
soda,
you eat and drink.
know.
You know, it's not the thing that makes it bad.
The Subway flatbread being almost the same as yoga mats. Did any of you hear about that?
No.
Well,
No.
aren't we like one little bit of DNA off from a banana or some stupid shit?
Well,
like,
anything that's a carbon-based
seriously.
life form, yes.
Yeah.
seriously.
You know,
Yeah.
like we're like
But-
0.3% away from a chimpanzee and like 1% away from a banana. Those are wrong numbers. Call me out on it, whatever.
Put it in the comments.
But that's the gist of it.
I'm actually much more okay with flat Earth people than I am with anti-vaxxers because believing the Earth is flat, you're not going to hurt anyone.
Not
really.
hurting anybody. Exactly.
But
Anti-vaxxers.
the anti-vaxxers are actually endangering people, even if their theories about it, like 1% of the time it causes autism, which is not true, by the way.
It's not even
But
true.
If it did, that's still way better than 100,000 people dying.
From diseases we've eradicated over the years.
Yeah,
because
that are
of
now
vaccines.
back.
I've heard that they
Exactly.
have actually brought back eradicated diseases because of these nut jobs.
Smallpox, right?
Smallpox
Was one. Yeah.
Mhm.
So quality work,
job.
anti-vaxxers. Good job.
Like, yeah, you've accomplished something.
Idiots.
So there you go. But it
Idiocracy
makes
is coming
me-
true.
Yeah. Have you seen
It
that
is.
documentary, Idiocracy? It's,
I thought it was a documentary for about 15 minutes.
Oh god.
that was good that they did it. Mike Judge, I think, at one point
Mm.
was quoted, if I remember right, saying that when he created Idiocracy, he didn't mean for it to be like a future telling or documentary. It was supposed to be a comedy.
It just turned out that way.
That guy's
We're
brilliant,
stupid.
by the way.
Mike Judge.
Americans are stupid.
I
It's
think it's just
not
people.
just Americans.
Yeah, it's just people.
There's anti-vaxxers all over the place. Luckily, none around here because my fist would be so sore. But it just makes me so sad because as a species, it's like humanity is a boat and we're sailing towards somewhere awesome, but we've thrown the anchor overboard for some fucking reason.
Mm-hmm.
And these people are the anchor. They're dragging their heels on.
Or
You
think
know.
of it this way, with your boat metaphor, they're pedaling in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking morons. And I don't apologize. I specifically do not apologize.
That's right.
If anyone's
And
listening,
he's-
Send your hate mail to
Like-
questions at
And-
cogpod.net.
And he's Canadian, guys.
please do. I know.
He's
But
sorry
we
about
like
everything.
Good things. I'm not sorry about this.
Well, we're going to move on before you
But-
break your mic.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Okay.
the issues with the anti-vaxxers and stuff are just because they're endangering children and other people, and their ideologies. You can have whatever ideology you want in your head, and just don't push it on somebody else and make it to where it
Affects other people.
affects others. I think we mentioned vegans also at one point, and that's fine as long as you're not endangering a child with something stupid. With like,
don't take other people's choice away. Is the main
exactly,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Don't feed a baby wheatgrass only. You know, thinking,
because CPS will take your child away
That's
from
right.
malnutrition, which
That's
did
right.
happen. That is a true story.
so.
All
right.
So my movie reviews for this week, you guys, they're not scary.
Oh,
Because I just was not up for watching more scary movies because I watched so many right before Halloween. So
Yeah.
I was taking a break this week. But, and I'm also going to do Doctor Strange next week. I'll review that next weekend.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. So this week, I'm just going to review the two bigger movies that my idol and love of my life, Nina Dobrev, has done, besides Vampire Diaries, like actual movies that she did. So the first one she did, it was a comedy with Damon Wayans Jr. and Jake Johnson, which if you don't know who that is, he's the really funny guy from New Girl. And she just had like a really small part in it. She was like the love interest of Damon Wayans Jr. or whatever, but it was really, really funny. The movie was super good. I thought it was going to be terrible because it looked really terrible.
what was the name of the movie?
Let's Be Cops. Did I not say it?
I don't think you did.
Oh, shit. But anyway, it was really funny. And, like, one of my favorite scenes is them, like, trying drugs for the first time and, like, just how ridiculous it was. But yeah, her part was really small in it, but she was cute. I mean, she's always cute. She gets topless. You don't see the boobs. You just see her back, you know, because she's
That
above
doesn't count
showing
at
her
all.
tits.
Oh.
I know, right? That doesn't count.
No, I like her better because she doesn't show her tits.
I don't like her.
I
as
like
much.
integrity.
Nick and I were both like, I don't like her as much now.
Shut up. But so that movie got 5 out of 8 COG stars.
Uh-huh.
And then the other one that she was in is more up y'all's alley. Well, not y'all, but Nick. So it's like a campy spoof of Friday the 13th. It's called The Final Girls. With Thaisa Farmiga. She was the one that was in Murder House, which is season 1 of American Horror Story. And then
She's really good too.
Yeah, she's really good. She's a good actress. And then Marlene Ackerman plays her mother. And so, like, there's a really heartfelt story behind the movie, too. And it's like a tearjerker, but it's also really funny and campy. And Nina Dobrev plays, like, the bitch from the high school, even though she's 28. I don't know how that's even still a thing. But,
It's always been like that.
she was really funny and ends up coming around to being a good person. So the basis of that story is, I don't want to tell all of it because it'll spoil it, but they go to see this campy, scary movie that's supposed to be Friday the 13th. Like, you know that it's Friday the 13th. But it's not exactly because they change it. And they end up somehow, like, a fire breaks out in the movie theater, and to escape the fire, they have to go through the movie screen. And when they do that, somehow it transforms them into the movie itself. So then they're stuck in the movie, and they know they're stuck in the movie, and they're trying to figure out how to get out. So it's kind of fun, and it's different, and it was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be as well, because it didn't look that good either. So it got 6.5 out of 8 stars. It was actually pretty good.
Nice.
I kind of want to see that because I have no idea what it's about based on what you just said, to be honest.
Well, because I can't tell, because the very beginning of the movie, there's like a huge thing that happens, and I can't tell you what it is because then it'll spoil it for you. You've got to be surprised. Yeah. So just go watch it.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to for sure now.
Good. So we're not going to have any of my cute little spooky music for that because they weren't really scary movies.
That's okay.
Could we put it anyway?
You can't.
No, please don't.
Don't worry. We'll get the better jingle anyways here coming up.
So we got a question from our Facebook friends. This is from Jake Luna. A lot of us know who Jake Luna is.
Ah, yes, anal leakage.
So
that's his name. His name backwards is anal leakage.
Anyway, so this question is awesome. I have a really good response ready for this question, and it'll give you guys time to think of an answer. So, who would win between a fight, and this is like fight to the death, between a taco and a grilled cheese sandwich? Let me explain. Okay.
Taco.
So, I'm not, Richard, stop it. I didn't ask you what you wanted to eat. I said which one would win, because I want to eat
soft or crunchy taco.
Crunchy. I want to eat the taco. First of all, so my gut said to go with taco, but think about it logically. Can somebody animate this, please? Let me explain the fight to you. So here's a taco, here's a grilled cheese. all the grilled cheese would have to do was like jump once and land on the taco, and it would just crush it, and it would just be dead.
Half the time, I get a crunchy taco from my favorite taco place, and it's already broken half.
Exactly.
Just
So
from
they're super fragile.
The weight of other
already
tacos
dead.
on top of it.
Grilled cheese made out of Texas toast, that shit'll like take down a wall. So it crunches the taco. I scoop the crunched up dead taco into a bowl and eat it as a taco salad. Somebody animate.
Why do you have to eat it?
Because I want to eat tacos. They're wonderful.
All right.
Nobody's beaten that answer, by the way. Go.
No, you're
You've
right.
actually kind of convinced me. Like, if you were a politician,
Were you
would
gonna
have just
say
won.
taco?
I think I was gonna say taco.
Richard
'cause of
said
the sharp
taco.
edges.
Yeah, Richard said taco. I want to hear his reasoning.
Just wanted to eat a taco.
Because he wanted to
didn't you?
eat the
'Cause they're
taco, I'm
delicious.
telling you.
You hear taco and you're like, yes, please.
You're like, taco, delicious, yes.
I guess it depends on the type of taco shell, because sometimes you'll get those really hard shells that will splinter off and become super sharp, so it might chop the sandwich in half.
Not a stale taco, it's just a taco.
Yeah, that's just a
stale taco.
That's just a stale taco is what you're talking about. Actually, more authentic ones usually are a little thicker corn tortilla.
Yeah.
So I could see that. But no, it's a grilled cheese.
Is the taco shell going to cut through the grilled cheese? Is that what you're saying? Like, it stabs?
That's racist.
Yeah, man. Or if now this is a perfect this is a
Not,
perfect
not all
situation
Latino foods cut
scenario.
people.
Okay.
Let's say your sandwich jumps at my taco, okay?
Okay. All right.
And it lands perfectly to where it lands on one of the sides of the taco shell and splits it in half.
But have you ever tried to pull apart a grilled cheese sandwich? Visualize it.
It would just like stick to the side of the taco, and then it'd be like a taco sandwich.
It's like a
that's
cheesy
perfect.
gordita crunch.
Oh, yeah.
What can you really do to a grilled cheese sandwich? It's just cheese, glue, and bread anyway. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
You
I
stab
thought
it,
you
it
were
just
gonna say-
reforms like a T1000 from
I thought you were going to say that my grilled cheese leaps at your taco and lands perfectly inside of it, and then you just eat it all as one
Or that too.
delicious thing.
See, why does there have to be food fighting? Just make one thing, be harmonious.
Oh,
What are
then
we
eat
doing
it.
with our lives that this is what we're hotly debating?
These
like,
are the kind of questions that we get, our fans. They're
Thank you,
like,
Jacob.
I
Yes.
love the question. It's just that like we're so deep into this, like more than any
Hey,
other topic.
We really
you really-
we really analyze the.
You really have to take these kind of things seriously, you know?
Yeah.
That's how it
I'm
works.
just saying, I want somebody to animate the taco and the grilled cheese fight out for me, and then just at the end, I'm just eating the whole combination of the two dead.
I think it'd be gross together, though.
I
Yeah.
disagree.
Quick side topic. This involves Mexican food as well.
Awesome.
I was eating a sopapilla, and sometimes they're a little bit crunchy on the outside. Well,
Right.
it got stuck. A bit of it got stuck between my two bottom front teeth, and I was trying to get it out with my tongue, and it actually sliced the tip of my tongue.
I feel like I've done that with taco shells before.
That is such a lame injury to have to report out on.
I was in, I think, middle or high school when I stopped eating crunchy tacos for the longest time because
It cut the roof of your mouth.
no, like I took a bite of it
Between
and
your
it
teeth.
cut just right and made like a triangle that got stuck in my throat. Like I wasn't
Oh,
choking,
shit.
but it was like
Stabbing you
like in my fucking
for like
esophagus.
a week until
like,
it dissolved.
yeah, and like it was the worst because it's just like you
can't
got
do anything
a
about it.
triangle of chip is just like wedged in. You can see how it would happen.
Yeah.
Just wedged in there, and I'm just like, like I wasn't choking because I could breathe, but it hurt, and it was just not moving. And drinking water, and for the longest time after that, I only ate soft tacos, and I was like kind of scared of crunchy tacos for a while. But then I'm like, fuck you, taco, I'm gonna eat you.
I have a
So,
similar
why
story
don't-
about pizza.
I wasn't choking. I was danger eating.
Danger eating, exactly.
So my story about pizza, when I was 16, we went to take my brother to college in San Marcos, Texas, for those of us in Texas that know where that is. And I ate at an undisclosed pizza location. I won't tell you that because I don't want them to get angry at me.
They're really gonna care.
It was Mr. Gaddy's. Anyway, so I got food poisoning real bad, like where you can't even keep water down.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I didn't eat pizza for like 6 years after that.
Like at all?
Like I didn't even eat pizza through college.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well,
it was
why are we
terrible.
talking about food fighting food whenever food kills us?
I know. I don't know.
Amanda almost died from a
Oh,
chicharron.
God damn it. I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
I almost choked to death. So we're back to back in our setup, right? Is in the computer area, like in the office.
In the computer area.
Shut up. It's called an office. Okay, I got it. I got there eventually. So I'm behind him, not facing him. I'm eating chicharrones, pork rinds, for those of you that don't speak
Chicharrones.
That was so authentic.
That's how you know I'm from Texas. Okay.
Right.
So I'm eating
And then
pork
she
rinds.
calls it San Marcos instead of
Shut up.
San Marcos.
Anyway, so I'm
Claro.
eating it, and like, you know how they get super crumbly and it's like airy puffiness or whatever, so I breathed it in a bit and choked on it, and like to the point where I couldn't breathe. You know how you know when you really choke and you can't even cough? So I'm silently dying behind Luke, not coughing, can't reach for him. And finally I got it out, but I'm like, I could have died right behind you and you wouldn't have known.
How would I have?
I don't know.
I mean, you could have
You
done
need
that.
to watch me. I'm not good at
You
eating.
could do that in the living room while I'm in here playing video games
You
sometime.
need to be
know.
supervised.
I know.
I do need to be
It's
supervised.
like George Bush and pretzels up in here.
Jesus Christ. Oh, also on the topic of food. So for this dumb shit Amanda says segment for this week, so we were watching 30
No, I have
Rock.
to tell it.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Because this is what you got to
This is
start the
what we do.
jingle, and then
Okay.
I tell the story of.
Cue the jingle.
of-
Go ahead.
And now, dumb shit Amanda said. And so, okay. So, and it always stems from 30 Rock recently. Like, it's something that Jenna will say. And
That I thought was true.
she'll be like, is that actually a thing? Or is that true? And this time, it was when Jenna was, I know everybody knows all about 30 Rock, but when she was the spokesperson for the Wool Council, right? And so she had to sing, and she sang this weird wool slogan song about like, we eat your young and blah, blah, blah. And Amanda's like, why would they eat the
I was like,
sheep
we don't eat
young?
sheep.
She's like, we don't eat baby sheep. And I'm like, lamb. That's all I said, just lamb. And she's like, but
It was the biggest light bulb ever because I thought
Aren't
my entire
sheep-
life that sheep and lamb were two different animals.
yeah, just
I
baby
remember
sheep.
this.
Yeah.
Mm.
Richard is so disappointed in me because
Is
it's
that
like
that
you
painful groan I was trying to come up with earlier?
because like you never hear of people eating sheep like adult sheep. You know, if a lamb is a
But
baby sheep,
then we discussed that that's mutton.
Hmm.
Is
but
adult
people
sheep.
who eats mutton
I
over
think
here?
not over here. And I'm
I'll
sure in
bet
the
you've eaten mutton. I bet you have.
UK or Australia or
Well, the Nick said like if they were super large pork chops, then they
What
were
kind of chops?
probably not
Well,
pork
not-
chops, lamb
Oh
chops.
my.
Shut up! Damn it!
I just wanted to make sure you guys all knew I didn't say that.
That it was probably mutton if they were really large.
That's possible,
lamb
but
chops.
I mean, also, how often do you eat lamb chops?
I don't. The only thing I've ever had lamb on is a gyro.
Gyro.
Yeah.
Let me be your gyro.
And they're so good. Lamb is delicious.
Yeah, we need to go to that place I
I've never had
linked
lamb.
the other day. You never had a gyro? Like
I
an
have.
authentic one?
I've never had gyro. I've never had just lamb in general.
Oh man,
It's so
next
good.
time you come down, we
We'll
found a
take you.
place. Like, well, there's a little place, Sarah's,
Sarah's is what
was really
I
good.
like.
But there's another one we found that got really good reviews on Yelp that we'll have to try out. It's like Maz or Paz or something like that.
I don't
Mediterranean
remember what
diner.
it's called.
But yeah, you have to definitely try it out. Tzatziki is so good. It's like the dill creamy yogurt sauce. And,
Nothing will compare to the lamb in actual grease. But
probably not. I don't know. Chili does some really big lamb roasts and,
Yeah.
and
Well,
authentic
he's-
Greek stuff. He's super Greek.
He's super Greek.
Super Greek.
But like actually the second closest, and it was almost as good as the lamb that I had in Greece, was lamb that they had in Paris.
well,
it was
Paris
really
in
good.
general probably has good
It
cuisine.
was just like a random shitty little dive place that we went to
Yeah.
many, many times because it was so good. But even in Greece, they serve them, like the gyros there, they serve them with French fries. It's so weird.
That
And you
is
just
weird.
dip them in the tzatziki sauce instead of ketchup.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's how they eat it there.
All right.
That's
So
probably
anyway-
way better.
They're called chips.
Well, not.
over there.
I don't think in Greece they are.
I think
In Paris they might be.
in the UK they are. Also,
Maybe not in Paris because they're
French fries. They just call them fries.
probably.
But
I want to give
Our
a
fries.
I want to give a shout out to Hey Blind Mouse. She's on Instagram and on Twitter. If you want to go follow her, please do.
and the YouTubes.
She's on the YouTubes. She makes good videos. She made me a really cool fan art that's like super duper professional. So we're gonna post that up on our website so you guys can see it.
She does a lot of graphic, digital art.
She's really good at that stuff.
It's pretty cool stuff. She makes her thumbnails and stuff for her videos.
They're
and-
super cute.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you want to talk about the laziness of game article reporting?
Yes, fuckers.
We're mad and hungry this week.
Oh my god!
Angry
Okay.
and hungry. We're hangry. Okay, go ahead.
That's
So
right.
this has been a recurring trend over the last couple of years I've seen where game articles, quote unquote, aren't articles at all. They're fucking Reddit posts that they basically just repost a Reddit post on Polygon or VG247 or Kotaku,
You
or
put Forbes. I wrote down
Forbes. You know, Forbes has been better lately with some of their stuff. That Jason Schreier guy has been pretty good with Destiny reporting. But just in general, you'll see, users on Reddit. There was one like 2 weeks ago or a week ago that was about Trials of Osiris and Destiny. The same thing we talked about earlier, the super competitive Destiny in-game kind of PvP content that comes around every weekend. And all of a sudden, the last couple of weeks, there was a big uprising of Reddit posts and people getting really salty and bitching about DDoSing in Trials, and people were DDoSing people according to them, and that you can't even play a Trials card without running against cheaters. And it was super hyperbolic and exaggerated and just over the top, and people piling on Reddit. And it's just so untrue. Like, the people that I know that play Trials every single weekend, they've seen maybe a few cheaters over the last couple of years, and sometimes you'll see bigger names like streamers and stuff like that will get kicked off or DOSed, and it's not even a DDoS. It's a whole other story. But basically it's just overblown hype and people just lashing out and saying it's ridiculous. Bungie has to do something, ban everybody. And so it's been a growing thing that you're seeing on sites like Reddit and the Bungie forums and things like that. And then I see a Polygon, I think it was, article. And that's all it was. It was like, Destiny players are fed up with cheating in Trials of Osiris. And the whole article was talking about a Reddit post, and it quoted Reddit users in the article.
Well, and that's like Daily Dot and the stuff you see on Facebook. They literally just...
It's a
literally
repost.
just the Reddit
It's
post.
a repost.
Yeah.
And how are you going to credit Reddit users and use them as a credible source? I mean, like, user /u420xBlazeIt says, I can't even play a Trials card without getting DDoS. And you're like, how is that something you're going to report on a national game site and be
really
a reputable source? It's just like fucking lazy reporting. Come on. Like, if you're going to talk about, it's been an upcoming trend that you're seeing this, but then actually do research, reach out to Bungie and ask for comment.
They just don't want to. They just want to
take
the easy way out.
It gives other sites that actually try a bad name, and it's really annoying that they're this copy-paste bullshit journalism that, quote-unquote journalism, using that term very loosely in that. So... had a big rant about that. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
Totes rant of the week.
But yeah, that one really pushed it over the edge for me because I've been seeing it for the last couple of years.
Your gears.
You know, it really grinds my gears. Exactly. So yeah, I definitely just wanted to bring that up because, if you see that, just don't even give them the clicks, or if you do,
it is just clickbait. That's all it is.
And that's, it's just a new clickbait.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sites that usually have or used to have good.
Well, and they still do
gaming
sometimes.
sources.
It's just laziness.
Yeah.
They just get lazy.
So
A lot of it could be that they're scared to have legitimate writers since that whole Gamergate thing. You
What do you
remember
mean?
when they were... do you remember Gamergate?
not
No.
really.
No, well, it was basically... quite a number of the reviewers for games and the writers and stuff were basically reverse prostitutes and new developers, and we're just giving them good reviews regardless what they put out.
Oh, well, I mean, that's a different thing. That's reviewing games. You know, that's, who was it? EA? One of the big companies recently, they were talking about on Rooster Teeth, how they said they're not going to give, or maybe it was Bethesda, said they're not going to give advanced copies to review sites anymore for games.
I heard about that.
They're only going to give it to, influencers is what they're calling them. So, which essentially is shilling for the company. You know, if you're a quote unquote influencer, that means that they're going to give you a game as long as you tell people to buy it. So they're not going to give it to review sites like IGN and stuff like that, which has gone downhill also.
They mostly give it to gamers on YouTube.
Yeah.
The big YouTubers.
That's the big thing now. There are, programs and, apps and services is what I'm going for out there that link you up with developers now. The one that Terps created, Key Mailer.
Terps is from the Yogs cast, for those of you that don't know.
Yeah, he's like the manager for them. He works with a group. Actually, he might be the creator of it, called Key Mailer, and it's a service that you link your Twitch and YouTube and everything to it, put your profile up, and you say what games you would like to receive, and they'll review your content, your site, and see if it's a good fit for you. And if so, then the developer will give you a key. And so it's a lot easier than having to go to developers like people used to. If you're a content creator, you know about it. You used to have to actually try to contact developers directly, or their marketing team, or their, release team, or whatever they called them, to try to get advanced copies for reviews or anything like that. So, it seems like it's a pretty cool service. And from what I've heard, it's very good.
Yeah, that's got to be a lot easier, because some people are almost impossible to contact, even if they want to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I was going to say, too, and this is completely off topic, I forgot to mention it when we were doing my movie reviews, but I have watched a few TV shows that are super good that I want to shout out for you guys to go and watch.
All right.
Frequency. I think it's a CW show. Yes, CW. It's really good. I'm behind by like an episode. I'm not going to tell you much about them. This one is, the daughter is in present day and the dad is talking to her through a ham radio from like 20 years ago. And so they're trying to solve crimes together, but 20 years apart. It sounds worse than it is. It's actually really pretty good.
Wasn't that like wasn't that a movie or a premise of a movie? Or
I have no idea.
I think it was maybe
it might
one
have
that
been
was
a book.
like, yeah.
And then the other one that you guys have heard me talk about already before is Channel Zero. It's the one that's got the guy that's made out of teeth. He's like completely made out of teeth. It's so scary. It's terrifying.
We need Grim here for that one. He loves that guy.
Just look it up. Just look up Channel Zero. You'll see the teeth guy. It's disgusting and disturbing, but it's really like mind trippy, like psychological.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one that Luke and I both have been watching is Westworld, which is super good. Don't tell us anything. We're like one behind. It's really, really good. And it's like super freaky for me because, my fear is a very human-like figure that's not really a human. And so it like kind of freaks me out a little bit.
For anyone who doesn't know, this is like a sister to Jurassic Park from the same writer.
Yeah. I found out I had to correct because we actually talked about it a little bit a while back. I said it was a book, but it wasn't actually. It was just a movie back in the 70s, and Michael Crichton wrote and directed the movie and then the sequel Future World. So they weren't actually books, apparently. They might have been like a short story or something, but from what I gathered, it was just he was the screenplay writer and then the director.
But it's super good. Go watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there another
There's
show
a
that
lot
you're
of
gonna mention?
tits. No, it's just those three. There's a lot of tits in Westworld.
Yeah, but they're clinical.
They're very clinical tits, but still just warning you for smaller children.
Well, mostly. Yeah, it's definitely... I think they're banking on it to be the replacement for Game of Thrones when Game of Thrones finishes next year. Because it'll be in its third season, as long as it's still going strong when Game of Thrones finishes. So it'll be after the first season, the hype, and the second season, oh, it's so good. And then it'll just pick up, I think, the Game of Thrones
George R. R. Martin
vacancy.
wanted to do a crossover.
Yeah, I saw that. George
Did
R.
you
Martin
see
was
that?
talking about. Yeah, you're like, go
No.
write your fucking book, George.
You're too busy for this.
Yeah.
But
He
what
wanted
about
to-
Black Mirror? Have any of you watched that?
Oh,
Please
I
was
say
actually
did.
gonna
yes.
I
ask you
watched
about that.
I watched a few episodes of it. The first episode was super good and like grabs a hold of you pretty quick. And they're all standalone episodes. None of them relate at all. The first one was really good. The second one I didn't really like, and that's as far as I got.
Well, I've heard that it's really good.
I've
Isn't
only
it a
gotten
different like
into
writer
it.
and director and everything for every episode?
Oh yeah, they're all independent, and the only thing they have in common is how technology that exists today is going to change us in the future.
Yeah. It's like-
Interesting.
So yeah, it's real good.
I heard it was really good. Dan Harmon didn't ask me anything on Reddit, and I was reading it, and one person asked him, "What would you like to do a Black Mirror episode?" And he was like, "Of course,
Mhm.
So
The first one was super good though.
Hmm.
I liked it a lot.
interesting.
But that's it. That's all I got.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, did we get any questions online or anything?
None to the email this time.
All right.
Okay.
Anything else that anybody wants to bring up or promote or anything?
Nothing.
All right.
All right.
Well, I think we will wrap it up then. Richard, thank you for coming by
yeah.
and
Yay.
discussing everything with us.
We're going to post your YouTube link on our page. It's
Yes.
cogpod.net, and we'll have that up probably pretty quickly.
Yeah, it might already be up.
It's already there.
Yeah.
All right. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Adios.
Bye-bye.